On paper, friends should form at random. Anyone can bond with anyone, right? But history, from Wayne Zachary's 1970 Karate Club experiment to modern reality shows, reveals a hidden order. The 3 laws of social attraction decide who connects, who stays isolated, and which strangers become hubs of influence. What if mapping these laws could decode any group, even you? The answer starts with a single, shocking simulation. A digital crowd gathers, 100 names, each assigned a gender, an age, and nothing more. 50 men, 50 women, ages spanning from 21 to 94. The simulation begins with a simple rule. Every possible pair has exactly the same chance to become friends. No preferences, no patterns, just pure randomness. Edges appear between nodes as if drawn from a lottery drum, each connection as likely as the next. The resulting sociogram quickly fills with lines, but the arrangement feels oddly flat. Gender offers no guidance. Men and women are just as likely to link with each other as with their own group. The age spread is just as uniform. Camille, age 21, is just as likely to connect with Alain, age 68, as with Margot, age 20. The network forms a tangled web with no clear clusters, no dominant groupings, and no natural hubs. The degree of each node hovers around the same average. Most people have about the same number of friends, and extreme popularity is rare. The gender ratio of friendships settles close to 50-50, with no sign of the strong, same-gender clustering seen in real social groups. Age differences stretch across the entire spectrum, ignoring the boundaries that usually shape friendships. The network looks mathematically fair, but also strangely artificial. It fails to capture the way real people sort themselves into circles of similarity and trust. The simulation, for all its balance, feels disconnected from the lived reality of social life. The network sprawls across the screen, a jumble of lines and nodes with all the charm of overcooked spaghetti. Something feels off. The simulation may be mathematically perfect, but it has nothing in common with the way friendships really form. No one's social life looks like this. In reality, people don't mix at random. There are invisible forces shaping every introduction, every inside joke, every invitation to grab coffee after class. The sense of artificiality isn't an accident. It's the result of a model that ignores what actually drives connection. Here's the paradox. We like to think our choices are free, that we could become friends with anyone. On croit qu'on est libre de choisir ses amis, as the saying goes. But the evidence tells a different story. When randomness rules, the results are not just unrealistic, they're almost absurd. The network fails to capture the warmth of shared experience, the gravity that pulls similar people together, or the way tight-knit groups form out of chance encounters and mutual friends. The spaghetti tangle isn't just a visual mess. It's a signal that something essential is missing. Real social networks carry the imprint of hidden laws, regularities that repeat from playgrounds to boardrooms, from Parisian cafes to online forums. If randomness can't explain the patterns of our social lives, what can? The answer lies in the rules that quietly shape every friendship, every clique, every community. Similarity works like gravity in social life, quiet, constant, and impossible to ignore. Once the simulation switches from pure randomness to a model that favors similarity, the network transforms. Camille, age 21, finds herself surrounded by people who share her age, her interests, her outlook. The chance of her befriending Margot, also 20, jumps to 98.8% in the model's similarity metric, but the odds of a close friendship with Renee, age 88, drop to just 16.7%. The pattern isn't just about age, it runs through gender, background, and even habits. Clusters begin to appear, groups of women in their 20s, men in their 60s, circles of friends who look and sound alike. These aren't just lines on a chart. They echo what Jacob Moreno saw in 1933, when he mapped out the friendships in an elementary school and found boys sticking with boys, girls with girls, and students with similar grades forming tight groups. The same principle shows up in every reality TV experiment, from Loft Story to modern social games. Strangers don't mix at random. They gravitate toward familiar faces, shared references, and common ground. The simulation now looks less like a tangle and more like a patchwork. Distinct regions of similarity, each with its own flavor. Social influence pulls these clusters tighter, as shared jokes and habits reinforce the walls. Dissimilar friendships fade or snap under the weight of awkward silences or subtle friction. Even the places people linger, cafes, clubs, online forums, act as magnets, drawing similar types together again and again. Qui se ressemble s'assemble, like attracts like. The first law of social attraction isn't just a rule. It's a force shaping every friendship, every clique, every community. Triangles start popping up everywhere. When two people share a friend, the odds of them connecting skyrocket. In network science, this is called triadic closure. Jure Leskovec, studying vast online networks in the early 2000s, found that new friendships form exponentially more often between people who already share a mutual connection. It's the difference between meeting someone at a friend's party and bumping into a stranger on the street. One shared link is enough to tip the scales. In the simulation, this pattern transforms the network. Each time a triangle closes, when Camille's friend Margot introduces her to Pascal, and they become friends too, the boundaries of the group become sharper. The loose patchwork of similar people starts to organize itself into tight, recognizable communities. The network's modularity, a measure of how clearly it divides into distinct groups, leaps from 49% to 78%. That means almost 4 out of 5 connections now fall within clearly defined clusters, not scattered at random. The effect is visible not just in numbers, but in the shape of the network itself. Chains of acquaintances are replaced by dense pockets of overlapping friendships. The second law of social attraction, les amis de mes amis sont mes amis, turns scattered connections into circles of trust. It's not just who you are, but who you know and who they know, that carves out the map of your social world. With every triangle that closes, the network grows more modular, more community-driven, and less like the chaotic tangle of pure chance. The friend of a friend effect is the secret engine behind every tight-knit circle, every clique, every enduring community. Popularity is not distributed evenly. Some people gather friends almost without trying, while others remain on the margins. This pattern is no accident. In the late 1990s, physicist Albert Laszlo Barabasi uncovered a rule that explains why hubs appear in every social network, from playgrounds to professional circles. The more connections someone already has, the more likely they are to attract new ones, a phenomenon known as preferential attachment. Each new friendship is drawn, not at random, but toward those who are already well connected. The result is a network where a handful of individuals stand out as central nodes, linking dozens of others, while most people remain on the periphery. This rich-get-richer effect is so universal that it shapes everything from scientific citations to transportation grids. In every case, the degree distribution follows a power law. A few nodes dominate, while the majority have only a handful of links. The final network map reveals its inner architecture at a glance. Camille, age 21, stands at the center of a dense red cluster, her connections radiating outward like spokes on a wheel. Alain, 68, and Pascal, 44, anchor their own hubs, distinct but woven into the broader social fabric. Around them, communities form natural borders. Clusters of women in their 20s, men in their 60s, and mixed-age circles bound by overlapping ties. The simulation's modularity reaches 75%, a sign that most friendships now fall within clear, cohesive groups. But not everyone finds a place in the crowd. A handful of nodes linger at the edges, their links few and far between, reminders that even in a world governed by universal laws, some people remain on the margins. The structure isn't just mathematical, it's a map of belonging and isolation, of central figures and quiet outliers. In 1970, Wayne Zachary began recording every interaction among 34 karate club members, creating a dataset now cited over 6,600 times. His careful documentation exposed that social networks do not form at random. Similarity, mutual connections, and the rise of popular hubs follow measurable patterns. Across decades, studies from Jacob Moreno's school sociograms to Barabasi's power law analysis have confirmed that homophily, triadic closure, and preferential attachment shape real communities, from classrooms to online platforms. Yet, questions remain. No model fully predicts why some individuals remain isolated or how sudden events can reshape entire networks. Today, these fundamental laws guide research in epidemiology, business, and digital society, influencing everything from friend suggestions to public health responses. As the evidence shows, understanding the 3 laws of social attraction is not just a scientific pursuit, it is essential for interpreting the hidden structures that shape our everyday lives.